What's going on, fight fans? It's your host Sebastian, and welcome back with the boxing tip. Now, the year is almost over. We had a pretty good card last Saturday with Bernard Hopkins, Usyk, Joseph Jojo Diaz, but the year isn't over yet. We still have some very good fights coming up. Maybe not the most competitive fights, but we do have some good fighters fighting. And the one that I wanted to talk about in this video happening Friday, December 23rd, is a matchup between Artur Beterbiev versus Isidro Prieto. This fight will be taking place in Canada, and I'll admit that, like I said, it's not the most competitive fight in my eyes. Obviously, I'm going to be picking Beterbiev to stop Prieto, but I'll go in a little bit of detail about that. But the reason why I wanted to make a video about this is because it has the makings of an action-packed fight. Both guys like to get in there and they like to throw punches. But we'll go ahead and talk about Beterbiev a little bit more. So most of you know who follow Artur Beterbiev. He's probably one of the meanest motherfuckers in boxing. He just looks mean, he fights mean, and he punches like a Mack truck. I mean, the dude's just got so much power. To the eye, it might look like Beterbiev is your typical pressure fighter with a lot of power, plotting to knock you out. A lot of that is true, but there is a lot of technicality behind Beterbiev's game. He doesn't just rush in there to try to knock you out. He likes to set up. He applies smart pressure, uses good head movement, flicks out a pretty thudding jab, and his main objective is to get on the inside and go to work and overwhelm you and make you make mistakes. Also, he's a pretty good counter puncher as well. In a way, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Triple G. Two different styles, but in a way they're very similar. As Triple G, he's really good at cutting the ring off. Artur Beterbiev is also very good at cutting the ring off. And like I said, he likes to change levels, sort of like a Mike Tyson in a way. Not exactly the same. They don't fight similar, but it's it's like the technical, like from a technical standpoint, it is sort of similar. The main objective is to land big shots. That's the main objective, right? But on his way in, he doesn't just throw his whole body forward, throwing haymakers at you. He like I said, he likes to change his levels, uses head movements, uses jab, throws punches on the way in that don't have bad intentions on him, but just to kind of keep you busy until he gets close enough or gets you in his range. Then he could start unleashing the power on you. He has some pretty good wins over Tavares Cloud, Jeff Page Jr., Alexander Johnson, and mind you guys, he's 10-0 with 10 knockouts. The guy is he is a power puncher. Anybody he hits gets hurt. That's basically what it boils down to. And I don't think Isidro Prieto it's not going to be much of a difference for him. Now, Isidro Prieto, he's a good boxer. You got some good fundamentals, it looks like. Doesn't do anything too flashy. Decent counter puncher. Has good power as well. Only losses to Eleider Alvarez. Has 3 draws. And he has a really high percentage knockout ratio. I think it's 73%. Yeah, 26-0 with 22 knockouts. The guy's also a power puncher, so I'm sure Artur Beterbiev knows that he can't take this guy lightly just because he plows through everybody else he fights. But nevertheless, like I said, Beterbiev's a mean motherfucker, so he's probably gonna have zero respect going in. As long as he doesn't get careless and start making bad mistakes, then I think he pretty much has this one in the bag. But I want to know what you guys think, man. Share your thoughts with me. Let me know who you think's gonna win. If you have any more questions about the two, hit me up in the comment section, and then just give me a little brief explanation of why whoever you're picking to win, just give me a little explanation as to why you think they're gonna win. Like I said, I see this fight being sort of a scrap, but I don't think Isidro Prieto is gonna last very long if he allows Beterbiev to get near him and be able to get off shots. And once again, Beterbiev is a decent boxer. He's not a bad boxer. He does do some things pretty technically savvy. He has some pretty good defense. He does get hit, but not nearly as often as other pressure fighters. Beterbiev is a hunter, but he's a tactical hunter. He's not a, charge head first kind of guy. So I want to see this fight, and then I want to see after this fight, depending on who the winner is, more likely it's gonna be Artur Beterbiev. Like I said, I don't see it playing out a different way. I'd like to see Beterbiev after this fight go ahead and either get a lighter Alvarez. I know that they fight under the same PBC banner. I'd like to see that fight happen. I know Beterbiev wants to fight Sergey Kovalev. I know he's beaten Sergey Kovalev in the amateurs before. I'd like to see him in there with maybe Andre Ward, if Ward isn't gonna retire, or if he's not gonna fight Kovalev, or if he fights Kovalev again. I'd like to see that fight as well. Pretty much I'd like to see Beterbiev in there with any of the top light heavyweights. The guy's a problem, or at least as of right now, in my eyes, he poses a serious threat to anybody at light heavyweight. So it just remains to be seen. Time will tell. The light heavyweight division, in a way, it's still a little young. Not young as in how long there's been a light heavyweight division, but the group of fighters that are at the top of light heavyweight, some of them are still fairly, Beterbiev's still fairly new in the professionals. There's only been one very significant fight, about maybe like 2 significant fights recently, the Kovalev Ward fight. Shabransky versus Barrera. Also, like Adonis Stevenson, I'd like to see him in there with Beterbiev. They both fight out of Canada, so that'll make for a fucking awesome matchup in Canada. And another thing I like about Beterbiev is that he's campaigning in multiple sanctioning bodies. This one in particular is for the vacant WBC Silver Light Heavyweight Championship. Just another alphabet title, I guess, but he's trying to establish mandatory positions for these other, for the 2 belt holders in the light heavyweight division. I think that's what he's aiming for, or he's aiming for Kovalev. I think those are like some of his main objectives, so we'll just have to see. But like I said, let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel, introduce someone to boxing. I didn't want to take too long on this video. Hit me up in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one, man. Peace out.